Okay, what we're going to do here is make a base, a mobile base for this Grizzly 6-inch joiner. So the first thing I want to do is take measurements of the base, and then we need to lift it up on one end and take measurements on the inside of the base. And this joiner has a metal base where the sheet metal on the outside is folded over at 90 degrees for about a ½ inch, and that's your base. So there's, you know, you could drill holes in that folded over part, and you know, put nylon glides in it easy enough, but that's what I had in before. So I don't know, the nylon just got, maybe it just got old, because this is a 20-year-old joiner. So I'm going to replace it with the same kind of treatment I gave to my big Rikon 18-inch bandsaw. Okay, we have the wood cut for the base, and now need to cut a bunch of little Teflon discs. And I'm using a bandsaw. Sometimes I use a miter saw. Miter saw wastes more material, and the bandsaw is a little bit more of a challenge, but either way. Okay, so the next trick is to get these Teflon discs mounted to the board that we cut for the base. And the idea here is to put them a little bit inside from the edge, so that the full weight of the outside sheet metal is resting in the middle of the discs. And that's what I'm going to do. First, I need to, you know, drill them out, countersink them, and get them ready for putting in a zillion little screws. So that's, you screw these things on. I'm not sure how short of a trim screw I have, but a drywall trim screw would be nice because they have really small heads. The thing is, I think my shortest one's an inch, so that's not going to work. So I'll probably go with some flathead woodworking screw, or wood screw. And I'll check back and show you what I did. Now this next part is a little challenging to do with two hands. Holding a camera, holding these slippery as hell Teflon discs, and drilling a hole somewhere near the middle. But that's what I did to all of these. That's the idea. So I have some, you know, I don't know whether these are number 6 or what. They're small wood screws. I think they're number 6 by 3/4 inch. So these will hold the disc onto the board easy enough while it's being positioned underneath the joiner, and after that, the weight of the joiner should, you know, prevent these from moving. Okay, so I have the joiner tipped on its side and lifted off the floor so I can work with it a little bit. It's a heavy thing. So this is what I used on this 10 years ago, and believe it or not, they stayed on there pretty good. I was, you know, one of them was scooted out. It was sticking out from the outside a little bit, you know, maybe at an angle like this. So I decided it was time to get serious about the base and put on the kind of base that I put on now that I'm a little older and wiser. So I say 10 years ago, it's more like it's over 20 years ago. This is a very old Grizzly joiner. It was originally this silvery green color. Actually, the paint's holding up a lot better on the inside than it was on the outside, and it's the reason I painted it. But anyways, what we need to do now is I've got the base here, and this metal lip that's bent over is only on the sides, and then it goes for a few inches along the length too. So what we're going to have to do is cut some pieces of plywood to extend, from one side to the other in the middle of this plywood base to keep the joiner from moving around on the base. So that's a trick that I used over here on this giant Ricon 18-inch bandsaw. So it does not move on the base, and you can see it's elevated off of the floor a little far away, and I only have one hand to zoom, so I can't zoom. So anyways, that's the idea for this too. So we're going to have some pieces of wood going from side to side here that are going to be exactly this length between, one side and the other. And then at the ends, I'll probably put 4 pieces of scrap plywood. So at the ends, we'll have it going from this point here, to the same point over there. So 2 shorter pieces of plywood and 2 longer ones, and we attach the plywood to this board, and then the other underside of this board is where the Teflon discs go. And I'll probably paint the board, to match this paint before I put it on. I wish I would have done that over there, because now I got to paint it afterwards. The reason I never painted it is I never decided what color to paint it. I don't have any paint that color of green, and I don't have any color that's that color of gray, so I don't know. Someday I'll paint the base, maybe black or something. Okay, so I'll do a little bit of work and come back. Okay, the cross members were put on the base, and it fits pretty tight, so all is well. See, there's just some pieces of scrap wood going across here. So that's what I wanted to accomplish. Now I'm going to paint the thing and start putting the nylon or the Teflon discs on the other side. Now here's something I didn't notice until now. This plywood has a void in it, and that's along the edge where there's going to be some considerable weight on it. So anyways, true woodworkers never throw away anything, and I have a zillion pieces of really tiny wood in here that I for some reason saved. And I just took one of these pieces and planed it down a little bit. So that yellow pine AC plywood is now going to have a piece of oak in it. Okay, so that took only a couple minutes. And actually the camera didn't even turn off in the time it took for me to put that strip of red oak inside this piece of plywood to fill that void. Okay, I have the second coat of paint drying on here right now, and I flipped the base over and put 4 of these things at the corners and somewhat evenly spaced the rest of them. I don't think I'm going to use a rule and get them exactly. They look like they're to the close to 1/16 of an inch evenly spaced around here. So the weight of the joiner, this thing is upside down now. Naturally, these things are going to go against the floor. So the full weight of the joiner will be basically centered on these little Teflon glides. So now I'm going to just start screwing in the rest of them. Okay, so all these things are screwed in, and as you can see, these screws are recessed quite a bit into the Teflon. So the idea is to use small screws so you don't, use too much, so you don't have to cut a hole and, sacrifice so much Teflon. So something small, and then bury it deep so the screws don't scratch, the floor when you're moving stuff around. Okay, so this is the base finished. The paint's not dry yet, but I'm going to put it on the base. I'll put it on the joiner now. Okay, so here's what the base looks like in place. For some reason that's not sticking there. It did a little while ago. But you got a bunch of Teflon discs on the bottom, and I'm about ready to tip the joiner back over onto the base. Okay, so this thing is a little heavy. But I got it back up on the base, and so now we have a freshly painted joiner. Still got to finish my knife setting jig and put the knives back in there sharpened. Got another set too, and it's sitting on its new mobile base, and here I'll show you how easy it is to move. I'll put one finger out here and slide it around. So Teflon, some pretty slippery stuff, makes a great mobile base, does not tear up your floor. So that's why I use it. So all that money you're spending on mobile bases, you should sell them all, buy more tools. He who dies with the most tools wins. Mobile bases don't count.